Hey, everyone! Today, we're traveling to Japan, a country made up of thousands of islands. Japan has a super cool history and lots of different landscapes. From ancient times, when people hunted and gathered food, to today's world of amazing technology, the Japanese people have created a really special and interesting culture. In this video, we'll journey through the biggest moments in Japanese history, checking out the events and important people that shaped this awesome nation. Let's go way back to the Jomon period, around 14,000 BCE. That's when the first people we know about lived in Japan. The Jomon people were hunters and gatherers, meaning they found their food in nature. They lived in houses dug into the ground and made cool pottery with patterns like ropes. Then, around 300 BCE, things changed with the Yayoi period. These people brought new ideas from mainland Asia, like growing rice in fields, using bronze and iron tools, and making new kinds of pottery. This time was super important because it's when Japanese society began to form, setting the stage for all the awesome culture that came later. Fast forward to the year 710 CE, the start of the Nara period. This era marked a significant transformation in Japanese history, as it was the first time Japan established a permanent capital. Before this, the capital would move with each new emperor. But Nara was different. It was modeled after the Chinese capital of Chang'an, reflecting the heavy influence of Chinese culture and governance on Japan during this period. This time was all about bringing Japan together with a strong government and cool culture, much like China at the time. The Japanese adopted many aspects of Chinese civilization, including the centralized government system, Buddhism, and even the Chinese writing system. This cultural exchange helped to unify the country and lay the foundation for a more structured society. Japan made Nara its first capital city that stayed in one place and started using a system of government officials. These officials were responsible for various aspects of governance, from tax collection to law enforcement, and their roles were clearly defined, much like in China. This system helped to stabilize the government and ensure that the emperor's decrees were carried out efficiently. Buddhism, a religion from India, became really popular, and people built amazing temples like Todaiji, which has a giant Buddha statue. The spread of Buddhism was supported by the government, and it played a crucial role in shaping the culture and spiritual life of the people. Temples became centers of learning and art, and the influence of Buddhism can still be seen in Japanese culture today. Later, in 794 CE, the capital moved to Heian-kyo, which is called Kyoto today. This move marked the beginning of the Heian period, a time of great cultural and artistic development. The decision to move the capital was influenced by political and strategic reasons, as well as the desire to escape the growing power of Buddhist monasteries in Nara. This started the Heian period, a time when Japanese art, writing, and court life blossomed. The Heian period is often considered the golden age of Japanese culture. Aristocrats at the imperial court engaged in elaborate rituals, poetry, and music, and the aesthetics of this period have had a lasting impact on Japanese culture. One famous book from this time is The Tale of Genji, written by a woman named Lady Murasaki Shikibu. This literary masterpiece is often regarded as the world's first novel and provides a detailed look at the lives of the aristocracy during the Heian period. Lady Murasaki's work is celebrated for its intricate character development and its portrayal of the complexities of court life. It's considered the world's first novel and gives us a peek into the elegant world of the Heian court. The Tale of Genji remains a significant cultural treasure, offering insights into the values, aesthetics, and social dynamics of the time. The Heian period's contributions to literature, art, and culture continue to influence Japan to this day, making it a pivotal era in the nation's history. Around the late 1100s, warriors called samurai became super important in Japan. A powerful warrior named Minamoto Yoritomo defeated his rivals and became the shogun, like a military leader, in 1192. This started the Kamakura shogunate and Japan's feudal era. During this time, samurai lords ruled different parts of Japan. The Kamakura period was also when Japan fought off two invasions from the Mongols, showing everyone how tough the samurai were. After some political drama, Ashikaga Takauji took over and started the Muromachi shogunate in 1336. This period had its share of fighting, but it was also a time when art thrived, especially Zen-inspired ink painting and the peaceful tea ceremony. In 1603, Japan entered the Edo period, a time of amazing peace and stability thanks to the Tokugawa shogunate. This era, which lasted over 250 years, marked a significant transformation in Japanese society, politics, and culture. The Tokugawa shogunate established a centralized feudal system that brought an end to the constant warring states period, unifying the country under a single rule. Tokugawa Ieyasu, the new shogun, brought all of Japan together and created a strict social system with the samurai at the top. This hierarchy was meticulously maintained, with the samurai serving as the ruling military class, followed by farmers, artisans, and merchants. The rigid social structure ensured order and stability, but also limited social mobility. To prevent more fighting, the shogunate decided to close Japan off from the rest of the world. This isolationist policy was aimed at preserving Japanese culture and preventing foreign influence, particularly from European powers. The shogunate feared that foreign ideas and technologies could disrupt the delicate balance of their society. This policy, called sakoku, meant very little contact with other countries. Foreign trade was strictly regulated and limited to a few select ports, primarily for trade with China and the Netherlands. This period of isolation allowed Japan to develop its unique culture and traditions without external interference. But even though Japan was isolated, the Edo period was a time when cities grew and culture flourished, especially in Edo, which is Tokyo today. The city became a bustling hub of economic and cultural activity, with a vibrant urban culture that included entertainment districts, theaters, and markets. Woodblock printing became super popular, leading to beautiful ukiyo-e art that showed scenes from everyday life, popular theatre shows, and elegant courtesans. These prints not only provided a glimpse into the daily lives of the people, but also became a significant art form that influenced future generations. The Edo period's legacy of peace, cultural development, and artistic achievement continues to be celebrated in Japan today. By the mid-1800s, Japan's isolation couldn't last forever. For over 2 centuries, Japan had maintained a policy of seclusion known as sakoku, which limited foreign influence and trade. However, the winds of change were blowing, and the world was becoming increasingly interconnected. An American named Commodore Matthew Perry sailed to Japan and told them to open up their ports for trade. Perry's arrival in 1853 marked a turning point, as he brought with him a fleet of black ships and a letter from the US president demanding the opening of Japanese ports. This event, along with growing problems within Japan, led to the Meiji Restoration in 1868. The country was facing internal strife, economic challenges, and the realization that they needed to modernize to avoid colonization by Western powers. Emperor Meiji, who was like the symbolic leader of Japan, became much more powerful, and the country started modernizing super fast. Under his rule, Japan underwent a series of rapid changes, embracing Western technologies and ideas to transform itself into a modern state. Japan adopted Western technology, education, and military practices, quickly becoming a strong industrial and military power. They built railways, factories, and modernized their army and navy, which allowed them to compete on the global stage. Japan's ambitions led them to victory in the Russo-Japanese War from 1904 to 1905. This conflict was a significant test of Japan's newfound strength and showcased their military prowess and strategic capabilities. This was a huge deal because it was the first time an Asian nation beat a European power in modern times. Japan's victory over Russia shocked the world and signaled the rise of Japan as a formidable force in international politics and military affairs. The 1900s were a time of huge change and turmoil for Japan. The country became a major military power, joining World War II on the side of Germany and Italy. The war brought terrible destruction to Japan, including the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan surrendered, and the country had to rebuild under American occupation. But from the ashes of war, Japan achieved an economic miracle, becoming a global economic powerhouse. The second half of the century saw Japan become a leader in technology, with companies like Sony, Toyota, and Nintendo becoming famous all over the world. After World War II, Japan's economy bounced back incredibly fast thanks to its technological innovation and hard-working people. The country became a world leader in making things, especially electronics and cars. Along with economic growth, Japan experienced a cultural boom, with its unique traditions and art becoming popular worldwide. Anime and manga, which are Japanese animation and comics, became super popular globally. Meanwhile, traditional arts like ikebana, which is flower arranging, and calligraphy continued to fascinate people everywhere. From its ancient beginnings to its modern-day achievements, Japan's story is one of resilience, innovation, and a deep respect for tradition. The country's ability to change and adapt while holding on to its cultural heritage is truly amazing. As Japan continues into the 21st century, its legacy of innovation and tradition will definitely continue to shape its future and inspire people for generations to come.